Welcome to the Nash Attack. This is the hottest episode of the Nash Attack podcast ever. My AC went out. It has been out since Thursday. We finally got it back on Saturday. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode, the hot episode, the heat episode, bringing us into summer. I appreciate you tuning in and being patient with me. I know I took a couple of days off from recording, but I was trying to get some business done, some consulting stuff done on the side. Yeah, so just been working, living. Okay, I haven't been working. That's a lie. You all know that I am struggling to find a job. It is a nightmare out there. So on Thursday, the AC going out, I couldn't take it. And for my listeners out there who don't know, I am in Texas. I have a lot of listeners who are, they're not in Texas. You don't know how hot it is in the summertime. And this is record level heat. I tell you what, if we didn't get the AC back on today, I would have cashed out all of my hotels.com points and just stayed in one for free. I was considering it, but I was like, no, you need to wait it out, see if they can fix it. And if they can't, then stay at a hotel, because our original go-to plan, and this is for everything. I'm just going to give y'all a little bit of survival tips, because in Texas, the weather is bananas. In the winters, we now have the craziest, harshest winters where it didn't used to snow much. Like, you might get a couple days of snow and it would be a little bit of snow. We get these crazy blizzards, hard freezes, frost. We had this weather event happen. I believe it was back in February of this year. We've had a major weather event in Texas, in Austin particularly, like every season, and in the winter. This one wasn't as bad as the big frost where we all lost power, but we recently all lost power. It was this crazy frost that happened, and all the ice stuck to the trees, so all the tree branches came down and it took down a bunch of power lines. But during that, we somehow were fortunate enough to keep our power. That is a thing that happens here. The Texas grid, we run our electricity on our own grid for some reason, and it's janky and doesn't work. And we all know that, and they do nothing to fix it and don't work on it, but they tell us all the time how terrible it is. So just to give you an idea. But all of that to say, you have to be a good neighbor when it's time to be a good neighbor. We had a neighbor, one of the people that we work with on our farm, their electricity went out, and so she came and stayed over with us, brought her dogs to warm up, and then we sent her back with our space heaters. I have had a bunch of space heaters. I bought them in the summer. That's my tip I'm about to tell you right this second, right now, because why in the world would anybody be buying space heaters? Buy like 2 or 3 space heaters. I did this last summer. It was the best decision of my life. It was back when I was flush with cash, and I just thought, oh yeah, why not? They were on sale. They just popped up on Amazon. That, and then you want to get a generator. So I have a gas generator for our camper, but there's just these little plug-in generators. So whenever you are running your heaters and stuff, so you don't take up too much electricity, you can use those small generators to charge your phone and charge your laptop and those devices in case you do run out of power. But all of that to say, I lent her our heaters so she could heat up one room. That's the other thing. You always take it down to one room. If there's a major weather event, if your house is power out and it's freezing cold, you got to heat it up. You buy a heavy enough duty generator battery, like one of the electric ones. Do not run a gas generator in your house, but one of those little electric ones, and then a low power enough heater. You can heat a small space. And so that's what it is. You take it down to one room, everybody bundle up. We're going to warm up one room, all the pets in one room. Bam, that's how you survive that. So now, same difference, hot as hell. Thank the heavens above they have a portable air conditioner. It's not a wall unit like you're used to seeing that sticks completely out the window. Instead, there's just this small part and a exhaust tube goes out the window. So you do have to have a window to put it in, but otherwise it's this freestanding AC unit, and their AC is working right now. So that family lent us their AC and we were able to cool down one room, taking it down to one room. You just chill out in that one room, keeping it cool, because it can only cool, I think, like a 400-foot space. So not much. But let me tell you what, this giant house got hot fast, unbearably hot. This is one of the hottest summers on record. Sorry for going on and on about the heat, but it is hot. David Lee Roth, crazy from the heat, hot out here. And not having AC was rough. So that's why I did not record yesterday. But that's why I'm calling this the hottest episode of the Nashtag podcast ever. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for letting me get through my crazy weather rant up front. If you are in one of those nice, cool places, it's like, it's still crisp out right now. I need a sweater or jacket in the evening. Oh, you are so lucky. You have absolutely no idea. There's this really neat festival, carnival thing happening nearby. Absolutely way too hot. And I'm still recovering from the heat. If you've not been in just hot, where you're just hot constantly for a few days, I could feel myself starting to wig out. I was getting a little crazy, probably a little weird. I think we were all getting a little weird here. I just couldn't imagine trying to go to a festival and then not having a place to come home and cool down. That's why I say, though, be a good neighbor. I offered up those heaters just to offer them up, and offered up space in the wintertime. And whenever I needed help this summer, it came back around. So in the grand scheme of things, when it really comes down to it, karma is on my side. No, I may not have a fabulous job anymore, but I did not overheat in the sun. So let's keep moving through this podcast. Let's cover the topics. I'm sorry, I realized we didn't even go over what we're going to talk about. I think I want to do it and talk about the first 2 episodes of season 2 of And Just Like That. I don't know why I watch this show. It's a hate watch, but then I still, for some reason, kind of like it. I hate most of it. I can't stop talking about it. I will watch next week. I don't know. We have to just talk about it. It's just bizarre, and I'm obsessed, and I don't know why. I just don't know why, but we'll go to that. We'll see. I want to move into more Love Island UK. We've got more episodes, and I now have opinions. I have favorites, and I have people that I absolutely cannot stand. And so I'd love to just get that information out there and see how you guys are doing, take everybody's temperature on the season so far. But before we get into all that, let's talk about, what else I've got going on besides baking in this heat. Last week, I don't know what came over me. I decided this is going to be a really good idea. I need to really deep clean my teeth. So I decided, let me get a good cleaning device, a dental cleaning tool from Amazon. Because I'm pretty big on, well, no, I'm not pretty big. I'm huge on flossing. I spent a small fortune getting my teeth fixed a few years ago. And so ever since then, I refuse. I'm like, no, we are not doing the cavity game anymore. I cannot afford any more of these crowns. And I actually have an old horror story. I bet if you search on my website, The Dentist, where the man pulled my tooth halfway and it didn't come out and I had to go have emergency surgery. That story's on my podcast somewhere deep in the old archives, but I'm sure you can find it online. Anyway, I decided I'm going to deep clean my teeth. So I bought this thing from Amazon. It was about $40. Great. Okay. Cool. Most of these little devices, I've used one before, I think. Just like a little water pick thing. No, not that strong. It's not that serious. But this is more of a official dental tooth cleaning thing, like a dental tool, and it's electric. And I don't know where I'm trying to go with this except to say, basically, I got to going on my teeth and I cracked the shit out of my front tooth. my beautiful front tooth that I've already had replaced. When I was younger, I used to twirl batons, and I twirled batons on my feet. It was this weird, it was like my little party trick thing that I could do that none of the other girls could do. So I would twirl batons on my feet. But one time, I guess I got ahead of myself, and the baton straight on my face and cracked both of my front teeth. And so I got them fixed by Dr. Olson, who, rest in peace, he was lovely, lovely dentist. Every time he went to his office, he would give you a carnation. And I don't know, I just really hope at his funeral, everybody gave him carnations. I always thought about that. I've been thinking about that for the past couple of years. Anyway, sidetrack. So I took off the beautiful work that Dr. Olson did like 20 something years ago, 26, 27 years ago on this front tooth. And the reason why I kept cleaning the same area with, it's basically like a little electric chisel, something that I have no business using at home. You honestly have no business using this at home, because as you use the device, like there's little black buildup that can that was kind of coming from like, oh, the tartar or whatever coming off. And I was like, oh gosh, it's making my tooth look like it's blacked out. And so versus using my brain and like, oh, just brush that off, I kept going at it with the chisel until the tooth cracked. So I had to go to the dentist on Monday and get it fixed. While I was at the dentist, the $20 repair kit that I bought from Amazon arrived because I had decided over the weekend, like, oh, I'll just fix this myself, and realized that's a terrible idea. You have already messed your mouth up so bad. Let it go. Go to a dentist immediately. Stop before this gets worse. Stop before it gets out of hand. I can handle a lot of stuff. My hair can be crazy. I mean, my weight goes up and down, and I've really learned how to get over that and deal with that. But something about having that buck chipped front tooth, I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it more than a day. Like feeling it with my tongue, it just was all so upsetting. It's all upsetting. So I went and got it fixed. I don't have insurance right now. Y'all know I don't have a job. My broke dumbass doesn't have a job. So I had to pay out of pocket to get this fixed because I thought I would, save a little money on a teeth cleaning because I don't have insurance right now. So I thought I could deep clean them myself. Yep. That's where I am, guys. I don't know. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should tell this story, but I think I should because it's a good warning to people. Anything like that. If you have ever remotely considered, I'm going to do a hydrofacial at home. Don't do that at home either. There are things that people are trained to do, and we need to just let them do that as the professionals they are. And I believe dental care is one of those, 100%. Skincare, yes, and then dental care. I am now 100% on that. And I told the dentist the story, and he just laughed and laughed. And he was gorgeous, by the way. What in the world? The whole dentist office, frankly, Grey's Anatomy level attractive. It was, not to demean the people. They did great work. My tooth looks amazing, but it was crazy. So I feel extra stupid. Great looking staff, and telling them, and they're all laughing. I'm like, good. I'm glad you all think I'm funny because I'm spending a small fortune out of pocket to get this fixed. Oh, just an absolute disaster. But he made me show him what the product was, and he's going to now warn his patients against it. I think I might make like a shadow box with it as like a warning thing and like gift it to the office because they were all really, really nice to me. I don't know. Now that my tooth is fixed though, and I feel more secure, I'm going to put this out here because I just need to know, would you guys as an audience be more receptive to video podcasts? Do you really need to see me in the headphones making the hand gestures I'm making right now? Because the numbers I'm getting right now are so low that it's crazy. And video podcasting is where it's at. If you are an animator who can work really fast and would like to maybe work with me on this, and maybe we can do like an animated thing, that would be ideal. Because otherwise, I just don't know what you're getting out of looking at me saying this stuff? What makes this more valuable, seeing my ugly mug with my nice, not chipped front tooth? I don't get it. I'm sweaty. I'm not cute. Like, I would have gone on YouTube if I thought I had that kind of appeal. I'd be doing unboxings, okay? I'd be doing those Amazon live things where I sell you clothes. Like, if I thought that I looked like that, I would be doing that, but I don't. So, all that said, if you are just dying, hankering, that's the thing. I'm more likely to send a video podcast to my friends than your audio that you're putting so much work into right now, Nash. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you guys. No, but if you are, that's something you want, let me know in my comments. You can message me however you want to get to me or email me. I'm just curious about it. It's just in my notes that I've been meaning to ask. And I don't know, maybe it's the next realm of my creativity. Because right now I'm seeing a lot of my friends who have been taking a little break from their artwork and their things, diving head first into it and like 10 times more. And I'm like, do I do that? I feel like I'm doing that right now by putting out as many episodes I am. But I'm really inspired by all of my friends right now and Audie doing her play and everything, where I'm like, maybe I should like be coordinating outfits and doing cool blazers with this podcast. But oh my gosh, what about the days I don't feel great about myself? Then what are we going to do? What are you guys going to look at then? We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Okay, let's get into our real topics for today. I don't know how much I can handle this topic without being negative. I just don't want, I don't want to be just like negative ripping into something. And just like that is so bad. It just feels like a screenwriting class or like fan fiction of what the Sex and the City ladies are doing later on in life. It's so weird. I don't know why. I don't think the fashion's hitting. It's never going to hit without Pat Field. It's just not. I mean, I want to like the show. I want to like it so badly, but I just don't. But for some reason, I still watch it every single week. And I think some of the storylines are cute enough, but not really. It's like, was this really worth coming back and doing? I talk about it a lot with Audie, and maybe I'll have her on soon so we can talk about this more. Sarah Jessica Parker is so attached to this franchise. She just won't let it go. She is Carrie. Carrie is Sarah Jessica Parker. It's just like too invested. And I've always felt this way about it, where you have to just be like the actor in the role, I feel like sometimes, and really be able to separate yourself as a human from it, because then it just kind of gets messy and weird. I don't know. I feel a little bit like Zendaya does it with Euphoria, where, oh, I am so passionate about this character. I want this to happen and I want her to make it. I want this, where it's like, that's great and all. If you're not the writer, I kind of don't care what you want to happen to the character. And no offense, love her to death. And same with Sarah Jessica Parker. It's not really for you to decide what happens. It's like, that's what happens in the writer's room. And she's just always been so heavy-handed with it. And just like that feels 10 times more like that, where this is just a Sarah Jessica Parker vanity project that we are all watching. She should have just done a podcast, and just like that should be a podcast. Truly, really, truly. It should have just been a retrospective podcast, and then putting out a book of all of the clothes, because obviously she wanted to go and get back in those old clothes, because it's constantly bringing out and drudging out this old dress and that old dress. Stuff that should excite me, like that should make me so excited. But to see the wedding dress again, it's like, that sucked. That wedding was upsetting. And didn't she get another dress for free, or was that the dress she got for free? I never remember. I just know at that point, Charlotte screaming at her in the street in the dress that she can barely move in. Love that movie. Second movie is a mess. And then we have this show that feels like it doesn't really fit in the universe. The characters feel nuts. And being there without Samantha, it's like, why are you here without Samantha? Seriously, I cannot handle it. I need her back. I need Samantha back, or for this to not be happening. And I'm not talking a quick cameo. And while we're at it, Samantha, Kim Cattrall, she had Pat Field dress her for her cameo. Okay? Because she's not playing games. If we're going to come back, we're going to come back and we're going to do it right. And I'm going to give you Samantha as Samantha then and who dressed her then. Because now it's like, and just like that, it's a new styling team. Pat Fields isn't there. SJP's way too into it. And now I feel like, what's her name? Miranda. Oh, Cynthia Nixon. Cynthia Nixon is also now getting a little heavy-handed and too into it with the directing and stuff, which I love her as a director. Do not get me wrong. I love that she directs, and there's so many people. I know David Schwimmer has directed episodes of Friends, but I don't want that to at the detriment of the character. I feel like Miranda has become a side character to Che, and I know that Che has gotten so much hate from last season. Not a fan favorite, and I feel like they've doubled down and they're trying to make us sympathize with this character. Spoilers ahead if you haven't watched the new season. I hope you already have, like 10 minutes into this conversation. Realize there's going to be spoilers, but okay, if not, here we go. Like the Che body image storyline. Why can't that be a Miranda storyline? I don't know Che. I don't really care about Che. Why are there scenes with Che and Tony Danza and no Miranda? That to me, what show am I watching? And I feel the same way about, what is her name? Ari Nicole Parker. Boris Kojo's wife in real life. Black Charlotte. I don't know her name on the show. I can't remember it. Oh God, whatever her name is. Her and her husband. Why is her husband's mom and family a character? I don't know this guy. I don't care about his mom. Like, are you kidding me? We have done this storyline. Audie made a very good point to me. We've already done Bunny McDougal, overbearing mother-in-law. Why do we need that? And especially from people I don't know or care about. Sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. And then we've already done this storyline of, oh, I'm so bored with my actor spouse with Sam and Smith, like Samantha and Smith. With you're getting busy. We've just done this, and I just feel Miranda has been stifled as a character. We're missing the comedy because she's so funny, and I don't know. I feel like, why isn't Miranda's queer story enough? Her discovering being a lesbian in her 50s. Why don't we talk about that more? Not just like, the sex act, it's so sexy, it's so hot as sex, and it's all about trying on different strap-ons and all this stuff. Like, they make such a joke about it. And even we go so far as to, we have a non-binary character, they, them, Che, great, but they still have to joke about it. Tony Danza, I don't want to get canceled. You're a her, right? Like, it kind of takes the piss out of doing the right thing and having these characters if we're still poking fun at it and not in a way where we're laughing with you. It's ugly, and I didn't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that we're going to trot out a non-binary character for just that. Like, there's other queer stories. Like, Miranda's story is queer enough. We could have just explored that and seen what happened with that. Her and AA, like, that's interesting. But then we don't get much else of that because we're so worried about Che and seeing Che do stand-up. Like, who cares? You know what we could have seen is Miranda trying to do stand-up. Like, anything else would have been more interesting than watching Miranda pick up trash on the beach. Like, that, what? You've been reduced to that? We're talking about the comedic genius who pretended to be a flight attendant, was hot for a hoagie. It's crazy. But I feel like that might be because Cynthia Nixon is doing so much of the other stuff now that the character's kind of getting pushed to the back burner for me personally. And maybe other people don't feel that way. Maybe y'all are loving Miranda. And again, this is just my opinion on the show. This is just how I feel about it. Because I do like Charlotte. I like Charlotte's family. I feel like we could have maybe just done a spin-off about Charlotte's family and done it as a cute little one-off mini-series, 2 episodes kind of deal, because that's cute to me. But other than that, no. I want to like Seema, but Seema's not Samantha. Stop trying to sell me that. She is beautiful. She's fabulous. Great. But I just see the scene of breaking up with a hairdresser of 10 years. Imagine Kim Cattrall doing that scene. How funny that would have been. I mean, it's just the comedy's not there. That's really what it is with her. She's not funny. Seema's just not funny. And I think it's time that we all, it's okay. And it's okay that we say that, because she's fabulous and she has all the other stuff. She's bringing all the other elements that we need, but she's just not really funny. And okay. You're not Samantha, so I mean, I don't expect you to fit in with the group. And now, like, I have a friend who says there's just too many people to follow. And that's so true. There's so many characters. It used to be about 4 girls. And they even made a point. If you used to watch, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm like a Sex and the City addict, historian. We used to watch the show on repeat. I can show you pictures from my dorm room where I've got the posters of Sex and the City up, because I just thought it was so cool. And I'm going to be like Carrie and Miranda when I grow up. All that crap. No. But in the old series, like, they made a point to say in one of the behind the scenes, because we watched, seriously, we loved it so much. We watched all the commentary multiple times on the Sex and the City DVDs, because it'd be a thing to get like 1 season of it and we just watch it over and over and over, like the set of DVDs. You kids today with your streaming, you have no idea how good you have it. You have no idea what it was like to get something 1 season at a time, or 1 disc at a time. Yeah, imagine that. I want you to take a second, think about how lucky you are that streaming is around. No. But in one of those commentaries, they say we don't talk about parents a lot. I think it was the one where Carrie gets the job at Vogue, that they give a very brief story. Oh, my dad, quit my mom. That's the most we ever hear about Carrie's parents. So why do we have whatever, the one with the other guy's mom? Why is she there in such a character like that parent? That's not necessary. That wasn't a part of it. And in the old series, spouses were secondary characters, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. It was just like Seinfeld, where it's a cool thing that you got to be one of Seinfeld's girlfriends. It was a cool thing if you got to be one of the 4 Sex and the City ladies' boyfriends or girlfriends, because Samantha was bi and dated women sometimes. So if you got to be a spouse, but it was a side role. You were not one of the leads. You were not going to be joining the 4 at the dinner table or at the cafe. That was never going to be a part of it. And everybody just accepted that. This show was about the 4 girls. And it's just not that anymore. And I know it's a different show. That's what they're really trying to express, was that this is a different show. But if it's supposed to be the same characters, they feel like shells of the old characters. And I just cannot believe they're still working with Bobby Lee. Shame on you. Absolutely. Shame, shame, shame. I'm looking at every single one of you who sat there and didn't say anything, and all of you who know about what he's done and have heard his podcast. Bobby Lee has done a number of podcasts where he's told a very disgusting story that I am not even going to discuss here, because it is absolutely so triggering and disturbing, but it's crazy that they still work him. Just search the actor Bobby Lee podcast scandal. That'll pull it up for you, and you can see what he was talking about. And it's terrifying to know that he was on that set with those women, and that there's even a remote slight possibility that he was maybe even nearby or in the same building as those young women who play Charlotte's daughters and Ari Nicole Parker's daughters. Like, I just can't believe that they're still working with him, especially after they were willing to drop Chris Noth And then they double down and bring Bobby Lee back. And his character sucks too. Like, let's talk about that. Who cares? Who cares about him? And who cares about his wife again? Like, what? If we're going to bring people back, like, let's bring people back from the OG series where it'd be fun and funny. He ain't it. And again, shame on you. And I hope you hear me say this. Shame on you for working with him and for not making a bigger stink. I would have refused. I just would have absolutely 100% refused if he was still there. This is all, I mean, I didn't know about it then, but knowing about it now, and there's no way, I don't work for the show. How do you produce something, executive produce something, and don't know one of your actors has a huge, disgusting scandal around him? Obviously you do, because you fired Big. Yeah. So there's that too. Oh God, the show, it just stresses me out. It absolutely stresses me out. But for some reason, I still am going to keep tuning in. It's not like The Idol where I just had to give up on it because it was disgusting. I read every week a recap of The Idol that makes me very glad I didn't continue with that. And you should go back and listen to my podcast where I discuss myself suffering through the first episode of the weekend show, The Idol. Yeah. I don't know. And just like that, it's not giving what I want, but the housewives are drying up. It's getting real dry on Bravo right now to where I need something to look forward to every week. I guess this is it. I did a podcast even about it last year after the first season. I was like, you know what? One season down, I like this show. I'm into this show. I'll take it. And that's just kind of where I am. I just accept it for what it is. I, just let it wash over me as the bizarre, unpolished content that it is. I let it do its thing. And I'm going to come back next week. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go right back for more next week, for more Che Diaz. Oh my God. And like, that's something where it's like, America doesn't love this character, and to just keep forcing it on people. It's kind of funny. It's like they're trolling us. And that's also a little bit of what I feel like Sarah Jessica Parker, where she is with this series, where she knows these outfits are just so outrageous to where it's like not even fabulous outrageous, it's just stupid. And just to kind of see how much we'll accept of it. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe this is just a big gag on all of us. And Kim Cattrall will come out at the end with the Cosmopolitan laughing. And then this show will never come back. I said I didn't want to be negative, and then I realized that was really mean and negative. Let me think of some nice things to say about the show before I move on to Love Island. I love Rock. I love Charlotte's kids. They're both good. They're both really funny, cute, bringing it. Never, ever, ever in a million years has that been what I tune into Sex and the City or anything within that realm for. Oh, I guess, the Carrie Dyers. All right, fair enough. But usually I don't tune in for the kids to Sex and the City. But Charlotte's kids are really cute. What else? What else do I like? I like that we still live in a universe where Stanford is still alive, and that Willie Garson, in a way, is still alive and in Japan. And it helps me stay in full denial about that because it just upsets me so much to think about. So I do love that. That's nice. It's just something that I'm going to keep watching because this show has been such a huge, well, not this show, obviously, because it's different from Sex and the City, blah, blah, blah. They want everybody to know that. If you don't like it and you love Sex and the City, it's different. Like, they very, very much hammer that point home. Okay. I get that. Oh, the teacher. I'm glad they brought back the professor, Miranda's friend, as a side character. Just a little bit of information every now and again, not too much. Could have got maybe even a little bit more of her and less of the kids, because there's a lot of kids. Thinking about it, I feel like there are too many kid storylines, and they should look ahead of the season. If they've got a whole bunch more of that coming, maybe cut some of that down, because kids getting ready for school and people getting ready. Not content I'm interested in, particularly on HBO or Max or whatever the hell we're calling it. And not from what I think is supposed to be a Sex and the City franchise. Just not interested in that. I don't know. Double down on the funny scenes, the cute stuff. Let's not try and make it so heavy where we're all learning a lesson. I don't even know who I'm talking to. Because I feel like, you know what, the entire production team right now of In Just Like That has sat around a table, and you know how you do this in a conference room, and they've pulled this up on the Octagon, the little like four-way speakerphone. They've pulled up my podcast, and they've got all the people from Max there on the line too, and they're all just listening to this criticism, just in case that is what's happening. Those are my suggestions for you. Less kids, more funny. Get Kim Cattrall back. Offer her as much money as possible. And I'm just putting this out here. I feel like they had her film, and I don't know all the details of it and when she filmed or whatever. They were very smart and strategic about how they dropped that information and when, because it was right when everyone was blowing them up and getting in that ass and tearing them apart for changing the name from HBO to Max, and they were getting reamed for it. And then the story came out that, oh, Kim Cattrall is going to be on And Just Like That on Max. And that was kind of the first push towards getting everybody used to the new name without it being about the new name. And I think they were very strategic about that. I could be wrong. I don't know. Just a thought that I had. So yeah, And Just Like That, we're going to keep talking about it, because at this point, who knows what's going to happen. I know it's going to be stupid, and I'm going to love it. And we're going to talk about it. So if you're watching, let me know. If not, let me know that too, and let me know why. I would love to hear your reason why, if you gave up on the show, especially if you gave up on it. Let me know what your breaking point was, because that's hilarious. Okay, let's move on. Let's cover one more topic, couple more topics, because you deserve a longer episode since I've been gone for like a week or so. I missed 2 episodes. I was supposed to put out a Monday and a Friday that I missed, a Monday and a weekend that I missed. So I'm giving you a little bit more today. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Tonight on Love Island. You know, I always say that I can do the guy's voice, and I'm really realizing I can't. The people who watch the show with me, Beth, she just laughs. She just laughs with me because she's nice. No. So, Love Island UK. If you are in the UK, you are a full, I believe, week ahead of us. We are only so far as, and there's spoilers if you aren't watching or you haven't caught up yet, you're not going to remember any of these people's names. So really, it doesn't matter. Who cares? But just in case you do care, there's going to be some spoilers. But we are just to the point where Molly and Zach are finally a couple. Mehdi just got mad at Whitney a little bit. He's always kind of mad at Whitney. I don't think he can take her because she made a joke or something during his little Love Island speech. So if you don't watch Love Island, every time like there's a recoupling on the island, the person who's about to pick gives a long-winded speech about, I picked this girl or I picked this boy because they make me laugh and blah, blah, blah. And Mehdi and she was, I don't know, she just said, oh, I'm embarrassed or something. I just feel like he picks at Whitney a lot and wants to change her into someone who she isn't. And I don't love that, but I do want them to work out. So if you guys know what happens and people who are a week out, if you already know that they don't make it or that she's out or he's out, I would be more upset if Whitney left. Whitney is one of my favorites. That's more what I wanted to talk about, is my favorites and then the people I cannot stand this season. We finally made it. Oh my God. I just pulled it up on my Hulu so I could see all the episodes and make sure I didn't leave any of the people out. And I'm realizing there was one that I did not watch. There was the last episode 18, like where Maya Jama comes back and apparently they're voting out the least compatible couples. I should stop this right now and go watch, but I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I find Mitch to be a creep. He is a creep and he's annoying. And he is just trying to glom onto whoever will take him so he can stay on this show. And I don't know how he even thinks he deserves to be here or deserves a spouse. Because his whole thing before going on Love Island was that he had 3 girlfriends at once. And I think they all didn't know. It wasn't like a fun, forward poly thing. No, he was just being a douche and dating 3 girls at once or leading them on or whatever he had going on. And he was super possessive of Molly the first few days. And that's why I really like Molly, because she's made it very clear, like, I'm open, I'm open. It's early days, blah, 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 blah. And he had just sunk his claws into her. And then when he could tell that she was moving on, he was like, okay, I'm going to Jess now. Whoever will maybe keep him on the show. He seems very thirsty for that. Total weirdo. Sammy, weirdo. Don't like him. His whole thing. I don't really like Jess either. Jess is just, she's a little crass for my taste. A little much. Just a little much for me. That couple could go, honestly. But Jess and Sammy, yeah, they're clearly just working it to be on the show. They're just here to stay on. They're not a real couple. And I'm glad that she's kind of finally calling that out. But yeah, he's weird and he plays a lot of mind games. So I don't really like that guy. I'm trying to think of the girls that I'm not a fan of. I want to like Ella so bad, so badly. She's beautiful and funny with the girls, but Ella and Tyreek are a terrible couple. Tyreek, again, another person who should not have come on this show. You are clearly not ready to settle down, and they play a lot of head games. She just gets so worked up and so upset to where it's not fun to watch. It's this very upsetting upset where I'm like, girl, this guy's never going to commit to you. And he's particularly not going to commit to you on Love Island when he doesn't have to. Y'all haven't even gone to Casa yet, and you're this possessive. And she already feels like she's been tested. We've already been put through a test. One test. She's already been put through the ringer. Tyreek is hers in her mind. He has declined one of the bombshells and has stuck with her. And so she's not letting him go, even though I think he's going to go any moment. But at this point, I need people to start getting cute. Because there's a point where in Love Island, the whole point is that we pick our favorite couple and who's the cutest couple. And in this moment, I'm trying to think who I would say is the cutest couple. Like, I want to say it's Whitney and Mehdi, but they just had their first kiss in the episode I watched earlier today, and it was awkward. Very cute as friends. And then him getting upset at the speech like I was talking about earlier. Something's just... I would love for her to meet a cute guy in Casa. And I think I could live with Mehdi going home. Just me. Just where I am in my life. Molly and Zach, since they're finally coupled up, maybe we'll start getting those cute, lovely, romantic moments. But I don't know who the couple is, because Mitch really thought he was going to come in and lock Molly down and we are going to win America over. We spend every second together. And it just didn't work out that way. I'm looking right now to see, is there anybody that I am... Oh, yeah, these 2 people are the ones that I want to see win. It's just not there yet. We're not there yet. I'm ready for you guys to start falling in love, because, like, I'm in love with, like, the individual people. Catherine, amazing. What an amazing reality person. She is so fun and fabulous and beautiful. Absolutely adore her. Oh, I like the new guy, the newest guy who's come in, or at least for us in the US. I'm sure you in the UK, you've had many, many bombshells come in. You lucky ducks ahead of us. Ugh, you're so lucky. But we're so lucky that we even get this show. So thank you for giving us Love Island. Oh my God. But the last guy who came in, Scott, I don't know who he's going to end up really coupled up with, because right now he's between Leah and Catherine, who I love. And I like Leah. I just want a cute boy for Leah. But I kind of want Scott and Catherine to get together. I don't know why. I think they could be cute, maybe. But I don't have my couple yet. I think it could be Molly and Zach, But I feel like if the UK gets the chance, they're going to let Molly go. Y'all hate Molly. I don't know if it's a US thing. We love Molly. Everything I've seen online has been so anti-Molly. The theater girl I was talking about the last time, our theater girl who finally made it. We had a theater girl make it onto one of these reality shows. Is going to get the good social media and hopefully some good acting gigs from this. Everybody seems to not like her, and I thought she was great. But I love the guy she's coupled up with. He's one of those like spicy white dudes with a really good haircut, and he can cut hair. I don't know, something about him. Something about Zachariah. He's cool. He's cool. I like him. I like him so much more than Mitch. Oh, God. I think I've basically told you everybody in the house who's there and who I like and don't like, and I don't know what to expect. I need my couples. I'm ready for love. I'm ready to start oohing and awing and feeling the feelings. Because right now it's really cute, the games and stuff, but where's the love? Where is the flirting and the banter and the cuteness and the, oh, I'm so wanting them to get together. But I don't know how long it took. It was actually not until Casa last year, because I am a big Kai and Sanam fan. Last year's winners, if you haven't watched, I don't even care. I'm spoiling it. Because again, there's a million seasons of this and 18 billion participants. You'll never remember those people's names if you don't watch it, or even when you go back to it. But Kai and Sanam, I thought they were the cutest, best couple. And they didn't meet up until Casa. So maybe that's what it is. We're still just warming up to the romance, and we'll get some more dates and the cute stuff. Because I like all that stuff, you know. I like a little bit of romance. And you know, maybe that's what's missing from And Just Like That too. A little romance. Going back to that really quick. Gonna wrap it all up and bring it on home with one simple phrase. Where is the love? Because I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, Love Island. I'm ready for it And Just Like That, even though I know Aiden's coming back. Oh, God. We'll have to talk about that in depth when it happens. That'll probably be when I have to have Audie back. I believe her show will be over, I think, tomorrow, and hopefully I can get her so we can talk about that, because I am not a fan of Aiden. If anybody was ever going to try and break and change Carrie, it was him. Yes. So I guess that's going to be our love there. And then on Love Island, come on, couples, let's start getting cute, but maybe it happens next week. If you are in the UK or somewhere where you've already watched it, you know, if you personally want to tell me the spoiler, just because you like me and you want to chit chat and talk about the show and give me some hope or let me know, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to personally go and read spoilers on Reddit. But if you as a listener and a friend want to discuss, oh, now please do. Please tell me that good things are coming, or I'm about to be gooped, or you're going to be so bored next week, don't even bother watching. Whatever your opinion may be, let me know. And then if you're watching just along on Hulu right now, like the US, if you're behind like I am, you can also let me know that, and let me know what you're thinking right now with the current. And I got to watch this current episode, because now I'm one episode behind and have the nerve to be behind the podcast mic talking about it. Oh my God. You guys, I feel like my brain is finally coming back online. Not having AC was rough. Like I told you, you go down to one room and cool that one room off. You get a bunch of people and pets and a room, one cool room. You start getting squirrely. I was starting to get squirrely, starting to definitely get squirrely. But let me tell you what, this little stand-up AC unit, I'm going to link to it on my website. It'll be on the www.thenashtattack.com/EP-316. This is episode 316. So it's EP-316, thenashtattack.com/EP-316. I'll link it in the show notes as well. Oh my gosh. But this dope AC unit that you should get, get one now if you can. I'm definitely going to have to wait till I have a little bit more money, and I'll probably get it in the winter. I feel like it'll go on sale. It's one of those things that's going to go on sale. But keep right now, add to your Amazon your Amazon wish list. Add to your Amazon wish list some space heaters, so you can know whenever they're marked down, and get them when they're half off. I believe I got mine. They were like over half off. I think I spent something crazy cheap, like $15-$20 for some nice, like the tall oscillating heaters, but you got to get them out of season. But that's being prepared, and you never know what's going to happen with this freak weather. And if you are in Texas, oh my gosh, I hope that you are surviving and that you are doing okay and doing everything that you can to keep cool. I hope that you are at the pool. I hope that you have a pool. Oh my gosh, if you have a pool, can I come swim? Can I hang out at your house? Pop by your apartment, get in that pool, take a dip, because I'm definitely dying to go swimming. My goodness, it is so hot across the country. And if you're in one of those lovely places that actually gets nice and crisp and cool at night, I want you this evening or the next time you're outside and like a nice cool breeze hits you, I want you to think of me. And then maybe in that moment, I'll get cold. Maybe I'll catch a chill. It can be like our like telekinetic connection. We can try and connect on an even deeper level, like a little mind connection. You see, I told you I'm squirrely from the heat. These are the things that have been going through my head. These are the ideas that are kicking out. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I'll talk more about the job search next week. A lot of scam jobs. I've been getting a lot of scam likely happening. A lot of that going on, and I'll tell you about that. And we'll definitely dig in more because it's going to be a lot to unload. Hoping I get a job soon. I got this big, beautiful house that I was able to move into, thankfully, and get out of Austin because it was too expensive. I pay now less for a 3-bedroom house outside of the city than I was paying for a 2-bedroom apartment in the Austin, Texas metropolitan area. So know that. Yeah. Or is it the Austin, Texas metroplex? We're getting, I told you, squirrely, hot into the podcast. But yeah, like I have this big, beautiful house and I'm getting scared I might not be able to hold on to it. So really hoping a job will come through. I was supposed to go to this really cool marketing summit, the Cannabis Marketing Association Summit. It was in Denver. I was going to volunteer to go, but I just couldn't scrape the money together to go. I really wanted to, but it just was not going to happen. Not going to that because I was really hoping to do a lot of networking and hopefully get a job out of it. It knocked the wind out of my sails really badly. But then I saw that the people who actually like laid me off were going to be there, like the actual person. And I would have been there as a volunteer, like, oh, I have to be nice and smile in this person's face and tell them where to go. So it actually all worked out. Probably should edit this out, but it's at the end of the podcast. If you've made it this far, you deserve a little intel into my life. So I feel like karmically, I actually was protected from a very, very, very uncomfortable and potentially bridge burning and potentially embarrassing experience that could have just really messed up my future. So probably for the best. Probably everything works out. It's all for the best, as they say in the beautiful musical Godspell, starring Odyssey. Final show tomorrow. Go check it out. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching Love Island, let me know what you think about it. Anybody else who is getting through and just like that, let me know your thoughts on it. I feel bad, like if you like really love this show, people love whatever they love. It is not a personal attack. Please do not be mad at me. It is nothing against you. Even Sarah Jessica Parker, don't be mad at me, girl. I'm just giving my opinion. You're still rich as hell. I'm just talking. Nobody get upset. But please, I'm definitely always open to opposing views. I would love to hear what it is about the show. Or if you do feel like, no, this is just right in the universe of Sex and the City, and I feel like it's perfect. I'm entertained. I laugh. I love it. It's light. It's what I want. That's kind of how I felt last year about it because I don't know. I think I was still traumatized from COVID a little bit. I just don't know. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on it. Thank you again so much for tuning into this episode. You can hit up my tips line at www.thenashtack.com/tips. You can go and do this thing called Buy Me a Coffee. It'll also be in my show notes. Like I said, a bitch might lose her house soon. No, I'm going to get a full-time job. Don't you worry about that. That is not for you people to take on, even though I know nobody's going to or worry about it. Do not worry about that. I'm going to be fine. That's the thing, is that I always pull it together. I'm going to pull it together somehow. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to make it work. But yes, hit that up, www.thenashattack.com/tips. You can find me on Instagram. I am at the Nash Attack Podcast. I have my personal Instagram up there, which if you want it, message me and I'll let you have it, because I'm not sure if I want everybody pinging in there and messaging me on there personally, but maybe, I don't know, it depends on who you are. No, I actually do really want to connect with all my podcast friends and everybody who has been messaging me, like from the episodes, just to talk more about a topic that I briefly mentioned. Thank you so much. Like, that feedback is what keeps me going. Please share with your friends, share everywhere, the Nash Attack Podcast. And you can listen to this podcast everywhere that you listen to podcasts. If there's some place that I should be and I'm not there, let me know and I will get my happy ass there immediately, and I will get this RSS feed up like tonight if you're saying you're listening to podcasts someplace and I'm not there. Oh, and then last thing, the video podcast thing. Do we really need to see my face for this to get the numbers that it should? Because if so, we may have to change the format or something else is going to have to happen, because I just don't see you guys being that enamored with watching me talk. Ugh. And when I do guests and have guests, it's like a Zoom. Who's not tired of Zoom meetings from work? Like, you guys really want to sit around and watch Zooms? No, I don't think we want it. I don't think you want it, but maybe you want it. Let me know. Thank you again so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope that you have such a good one, and I will talk to you when I talk to you.